voice today? Okay. So I'm Julie. I'm a product lead at Typeform. So specifically what I do at Typeform is I lead our integrations and platform strategy. That's been my domain over the last 10 years. I lead our strategic tech partnerships from the product standpoint, but also support developers because we have an active community there. So today I will focus on the common challenges of product-led growth companies, specifically bottoms-up growth. So can you raise your hand if you specifically work at a company or before that went through like a self-service model, bottoms-up growth? Okay, just a few. So that's going to be some of the nuances that I'll be talking about today. So I'll mention successful examples like Slack and Zoom, and then bring it back to Typeform and sharing some of our strategies. At least that's why I come to these conferences, to learn about like how other companies approach their growth challenges. Okay. So I asked ChatGPT, so what are the common growth challenges of bottoms-up product-led SaaS companies? So we often see a slowdown in growth because people are often coming in from a freemium or a free trial model. And managing churn for them is quite hard. We start to build a sales team to close those larger deals. Upselling or cross-selling into larger teams and organizations becomes harder because often you need to integrate further deeply into their tech stack, and that's where the platform comes in. So given that, I had to talk about some good things about Typeform. So luckily, we, despite all those challenges, we have a really strong premium brand in the market for the business of building forms. And I will show you our newest brand campaign to tell you what's that about. So 2, 3. All right, so raise your hand if you know Typeform or used a Typeform before. Okay, great. So it's our beautifully designed conversational forms that make it really easy for brands to start that conversation and interact with their customers. We are largely catered to SMBs right now, but the next step in our evolution is how do we start going up market? So specifically, how do we evolve our product portfolio without compromising our strong self-service business that had a lot of product virality because of our brand? So let's look at some examples. So, both Slack and Zoom, both very successful bottoms-up SaaS companies. We studied them for a long time. They went through 3 major stages of evolution. Not in sequential order, but they started with a strong self-service engine with a freemium model. And then they start to extend a lot of their core product functionality with integrations and platform. They even started opening up their platform to third-party developers with apps inside the product. And then they started to move up market, specifically building out new core features to meet those enterprise needs. So specifically, when we talk about the integration-driven product strategy that they had, it was starting to build apps into the product, as in bring your favorite tools right inside your Zoom meeting workflow before, during, and after the meeting so that your meetings are more efficient, more insightful. Same with Slack. They started to deeply go into solutions apart from their core value prop, which is messaging for teams, but they kind of switched over to this is where you get your work done. So you can easily integrate with your Salesforce to manage your leads or Jira tickets and so forth. It's all about going deeper into those vertical solutions with your ecosystem of partners and developers. And Slack did a really amazing job, and I looked at their model a lot. They adapted even their core product to make these integrations easier to discover and use. So namely, they kind of really popularized the Slack commands as an easy way to find a Giphy. So that's a Giphy app in their product. The same way that you would create a Jira ticket and act on it right inside Slack. So a lot of standards on design. They also had a developer partner program to control the listing of those apps. So all great things. And then Slack and Zoom. Zoom actually went enterprise first before platform. I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it, but they successfully transitioned or expanded into enterprise with the core product. Mostly their core product was 80% about the same to both SMB users and enterprise, and we start to see the same patterns of successful bottoms-up companies like that. And this is Slack with their enterprise functionality at a add-on to the core product offerings. So what does it mean for Typeform? And this is, I had to get approvals from everyone inside our company to share this, but I'm happy to share. So at Typeform, we're becoming a lot more ambitious in how we see ourselves in the web. So we're in the business of building forms. We think forms are the piece of the larger web. Specifically, we focus on creating the best interactions that brands can have with their customers. So I'll take you through like step by step of what we're thinking about. So at Typeform today, this is step one. We built out before that, it's hard to build a platform without the step one. The step one is building the best core product market fit with a core value prop messaging. And specifically for us, it's the easy to use, no code form builder for anyone to start using. But it's good for many things. And we learned that customers started to use a Typeform for many different use cases, from generating new leads, engaging with their customers through a quiz, onboarding, customer support, HR. But we want to evolve from being a horizontal form builder into deeper into solutions so that we identify our most excited and frequent customers from step one who found the most product market fit. But this is about giving them superpowers or reduce friction in their daily lives and making it dead easy to do so. So from form builder to solutions. And I just want to quickly bring up Notion because I see a lot of similarity with Notion as well. So Notion, a while back, they actually started their value prop as like, we are the no-code website builder. And then they evolved to, we are your no-code web app builder. We're going to give you all the Lego blocks for you to build an app. But then they realized, I quote the CEO on YouTube, he said they realized not many people are interested in building apps. They just want to do their job. So that's how they started to evolve from being a web app horizontal layer to going more vertical into solutions so that, you can collaborate with your team, you can manage your projects, and a template was the best way for them to start growing with a community of people who build those templates. So it's quite unique in how they approach their growth strategy. So in the same way, so Tiffany is an illustration, but in step two, as we become more solutions focused, we are learning more about our customers and how they're trying to start to almost hack our product a little bit to get the most value. So Tiffany, and actually one of our customers, she runs a matchmaking business. And Tiffany's an illustration, but she uses a Typeform across her end-to-end journey with her clients. She collects dating profiles from her customers, her clients. She creates a matchmaking survey to match people. She collects consent because confidentiality is super important for her dating business. And she schedules meetings from a Typeform because we have the Calendly question. And with her HubSpot integration, she manages her clients in a HubSpot. So in a similar way, we started to think about how can we really, really make it easier for Tiffany to do her job. And that's how we started the notion of Typeform apps. Specifically, how can we let Tiffany do more with the Typeform not just collecting data, but different types of data, collecting signatures, collecting payments with Stripe, collecting bookings with Calendly. And this has been a really, really good, successful strategy that's been working for us for the last few years and increasing a lot of stickier customers overall. So what does it mean for step 3 and how we look to ourselves in the future? And I'll just explain briefly. It's, so step 1 is finding out your best customers because you want to reach product market fit. Step 2 is giving them superpowers. Make it super easy to do their job by going deeper into their workflows. Step 3 is actually the developer. It's really of those customers who are starting to hack our product, even at a code level, to make Typeform work for their specific use cases. And we are so early into our journey that we continue to be amazed what our customers do. And we see this as a growth path into expanding upmarket as well, because we start to see a lot of enterprise customers who want to build their own front end, and they're just interacting with Typeform through our APIs, and they just programmatically create a form because they see Typeform as part of their automated tech stack. So this is kind of where we're going. And I wanted to say, it just given worked in platform and integrations for quite a while, I start to distinguish and bring awareness that small, medium business companies and enterprise companies need different ways to integrate. So while small, medium businesses focuses on an easy, no-code experience, they just want no-code integrations. But when we start going into a go-to-market motion that is not just a self-service model, but having sales teams assist with closing larger deals, we learn that a lot of larger companies might have their proprietary tech stacks, and they want to use low to high code solutions to really integrate Typeform data and bring it back to their own systems and systems of record. So I would advise an integration strategy is different from a platform strategy. And as we're starting to go up market to close those deals, we start to see a lot of big objections to closing those larger deals, specifically around security, custom domains, roles and permissions, and the list goes on. But that is something that we continue to work on and improve on as a brand. So I think that was it. That took quickly than I thought. Okay. All right. So any questions? Yeah, I would love to connect with other people who work in, platform generically too, just because there's few of us. There's very few of us working in this profession. But yeah. Is your matchmaking customer taking new clients? Yes, I do know her. I will send the info. Who? Who was that? Okay. All right. How do you decide between build, buy, or partner? When might you build a feature that competes with the partner and when the integration is enough? So actually, this is a really big topic. So specifically working from, so we have core product teams, integrations, platform. We're kind of also in the core product team. We're considered as part of the same org, but we continue to have these strategic buy versus build or partner discussions. And the framework that we started to align on is depending on the use cases that is most critical for our company. Does it make sense to build it natively ourselves with the investment upfront, or does it make sense to go with a low friction, faster to market partner approach, starting with an integration? So often we start with partners, test it out, see if it's being used, and when we gather enough traction, we decide to invest further in creating it natively. How do you acquire the first enterprise client when you only had SMB or vice versa? So recently we landed on one of the early deals. A lot of it is setting expectations. So we are lucky to be a product-led company where product is involved very early into these sales conversations. It's a negotiation. You learn their needs. We have a backlog of needs. We don't commit to everything all at once, but we start to prioritize some of those features and to remove objections going forward with our roadmap. So I don't know if that answered your question. But product being involved really early into those sales conversations is really important. So curious if you think the same strategies apply if you're not looking to go up market, but trying to expand your TAM in other ways. Can I ask more context into this question? Because I could go anywhere. Let's see. Yes.
So you mentioned the examples you gave were about companies who wanted to go more into enterprises, from SMB, but assuming you're not necessarily looking to go to enterprise, but maybe you want to address different types of industries or companies that you have been selling to up to that date, do you think the same strategy would apply? Is there anything that's different in that you did maybe specifically to go up market that would be different if you were just wanting to expand to other verticals or something like that?
How should I answer that question? So I think they go in tandem. So I think, so we have an enterprise strategy, but apart from that, we have a partnerships and ecosystem strategy as well. Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm more involved. So yes, I'm very, very deeply involved in all the ecosystem conversations. In terms of, so it comes down to, at some point, if you want to build out a bigger ecosystem because you want more TAM as in, just putting to context, if we are a partner of HubSpot, the TAM there is the total amount of customers that could be addressable because they use both Typeform and HubSpot into their stack, right? And now it becomes driving adoption. I think the first step into that is managing quality over quantity. I think a lot of startups start out building for quantity. A lot of different integrations, sometimes built with a lot of other integration providers, and build integrations on top of it. But we're now starting to get to a point where if we want to go for quality and really drive adoption towards addressing those TAM with our partners, you need more deeper relationships, and that translates into your product roadmap when you're strategically prioritizing your partners. And there's a lot of different criteria we look at. We look at TAM, we look at joint ideal customer profile, we look at joint pricing plans, we look at partner buy-in, a lot of those things. So we can chat afterward. How does finding product market fit differ in platform products or external consumer-facing ones? Can someone clarify this question? Or if not, I could skip. I didn't quite understand. How do you think about pricing for integrations? Do you charge for user for access? Or the question was gone. Okay, so the question's around pricing of integrations. So I've been in companies where we approach this a little bit differently. Today at Typeform, integrations are more, we think about integrations towards retention in our go-to-market model, so it's offered for free. But that said, if you're thinking about, it depends on how do you view integrations that drive your business forward. Are you trying to create more revenue? Are you trying to acquire more customers? Are you trying to improve retention? Are you trying to expand? So if you are at a stage where you are at a point where you're more mature in your integration strategy and your focus is on expanding and penetrating into larger companies, then maybe you start to see integrations as a way to upsell. So you have integrations on more of a paid plan, and you start to figure out what are those premium integrations that can really nudge the customer to start paying more for your product because you know they will be more sticky with you. So that's what I would say for now. Is there a case for adding integrations before reaching product market fit? This is also a very nuanced question. I could try catering to it. Who asked that question? Does someone want to? Yes.
I guess I'm thinking, so my company, we're trying to find product market fit currently, and ways to like reach our users' needs more holistically are to add integrations. But your use cases were more like after you've reached product market fit.
Yeah.
How do you expand that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just wanted to hear you.
Yeah. Can I ask like what your business is about? do you want to share?
Yeah, we're a marketplace for renewable energy transactions.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so that's really different. So if you're a marketplace, innately you need to have like a marketplace for like both like buyers and sellers, right? So I think that it's like, well, it's so baked into your product. Like, do you work with partners at all in your model, or is it more like end-to-end end users?
It's like, yeah, it's mostly self-service right now.
Got it. You could see, I wouldn't, it's so nuanced. I think, so if it's a marketplace for renewable energy, I would kind of consider, and this is what I would advise, when we think about integrations with like other companies, the integrations are a method to solve your customers' jobs to be done more deeply that cannot be solved with your own core product. So I don't know. Yeah, like what is the better together? I think, yeah, and then you start building out integration from there. But yeah.